but I also do like visual arts and paintings and stuff like that, whatnot. But mostly performance, poetry. Um, yeah, I guess that's about it. I mean, I don't know what else. I can always read out my resume.
Uh, well, it's the way we roll the podcast. It kind of just flows. So like, whatever happens to come up, then we kind of roll on that. Did you get to hear what we were talking about a little bit before you got your mic fixed and everything?
Say that again.
Did
No,
you
he
hear?
probably didn't hear that.
Okay,
He,
okay,
he,
word. We were.
Yeah, no, no, yeah, no, it's been a good day. So no, I didn't. I just caught. I really didn't catch. I caught a little bit of that ending, but didn't really know what you guys were talking about.
All right, yo, Stanford, you can go and take it away. Take it away, yo.
take it
Say
away.
again.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. So it's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Coastal Kiev.
Yeah,
So
Casal. Yeah.
what? Kasal. Kasal. Nice to meet you, Kasal. Yeah, I'm actually from New York City. I lived in Phnom Penh. Well, I didn't live there. I passed through Phnom Penh quite a few times.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
yeah, I don't think I had the pleasure of meeting you. I guess we probably have some mutual friends, but I don't think I have the pleasure of meeting you. Back then, I used to perform at Showbox and Tusk,
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, 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 yeah. I opened
uh,
up Showbox. Like I began when that like, man, I was part of the renovations and all that.
who knows? We could have crossed paths before. I was the guy who used to play saxophone and drums and stuff. I hosted a few times. I can't remember the name of the woman who owned it. It's not Claire. What's her name? I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. I think I know who you're talking about. It was uh
Not
Darren
Susan.
and Miles at first.
What's the woman? What's the woman who was owned Showbox, right?
Showbox was owned by two different owners. Like the beginning owners were um Miles and then Darren, my um
Yeah, never met
my friend
them.
of ours. You never met them, right?
No, I only met the woman.
Claire,
Huh?
right? I think it is Claire. I think
Claire.
her
Okay,
name
yeah, okay,
is
Claire. Yeah, it is Claire then. Yeah, sometimes my memory doesn't always serve me with
no
certain
worries.
details.
What year was you here? What year was you here?
I arrived in 2016, end of 2016, and I was there until the mid of 2017.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 2016 was pretty crazy. I was traveling around quite a bit during that time.
Yeah.
So,
So,
okay.
what are you doing now?
What am I doing now? Oh my gosh, so many different things, man. And I feel so blessed. First of all, let me say this. Today has been an amazing day. You know, I just got one of the greatest news I've gotten in such a long time. An old friend of mine I did time with um, back in the 2000s, back in Folsom, who was serving a life sentence, um, got out 3 months ago
Wow.
and reached out to
Word.
me today. You know, he was down about close to 30 years, I think. Um, and just to know that he's out, you know, and today, shout out to him, my man Leroy, you know, Bruce Leroy showing up of The Last Dragon. He turned 50 today. So shout out to him, man. You know, if you get a chance, I'm gonna send him this link. So
Yeah.
uh, I, I'm ecstatic that he actually reached out. That you know that I know that he's out in the free world. Um, you know, so that's been amazing, man. And what I've been up to lately has been crazy too, amazing too. So all these like different things that's been happening is so amazing. So right now I'm in collaboration with CCF, Cambodian Children's Fund. They have a science tech department, and we've been doing workshops with the. I received an artist grant that they give out once a year. I think once a year to collaborate with local artists out here in Cambodia. And they wanted to. So right now we're doing animation into one of my spoken word pieces. called The Wolf and Raven. And which is amazing because, to have one of my spoken word pieces turned into an animations and working with the kids and introducing them to storytelling and sharing concepts and ideas, and then, having them take that concept and ideas and story and turn it into an animation. And, just the process of it all, right? Because like when we first started, like even now, so it's been like about 3-4 months we've been into this program now, and just to see the growth of what they've been going through or what they've been doing has been an amazing thing, man. So that's what we've been doing, and hopefully that drops soon. I can't wait for the final product of that. I also just got a side gig to write for a magazine out in, I think, Norway, somewhere out there. But that was introduced to me by a brother of mine out in Bangladesh. So, that's amazing thing as well. So many different things. I also hosting open mic night out here at Cloud once every 2 weeks. So that's been kind of cool too. Just getting back into some sort of what normalcy of like, because everything's been locked down, the world's been turned inside out, upside down, and just being able to do that. And, last week was our second time around. So, the next time, third time around, hopefully it grows and grows and more people hear about it, more people show up. So, and then I have another side job that's it's like I can't really talk too much about it, but it goes into reclaiming lost artifacts of Cambodian history, that's in the mix out there. So I'm really excited about that. I don't know what's going to come out of that. And for that, right now I'm learning Blender. So I'm being taught not once a week, but like almost every day, about for like an hour or so to learn Blender and see what we can create in the 3D animation and stuff like that, and just be a part of that. So a lot of things in the works. I just got reached out to as well, someone from the UK, a good friend of mine. Her name was Nadia. She's an art curator, artist herself. So they want to actually maybe get a chapbook out, or one of my writings, just collect some of my writings and get into a book or some sort of chapbook. So I'm looking into that, and that was just this morning, and so which was kind of cool. And yeah, man, I just feel really blessed right now because, I realized that the world stopped for quite a bit in a lot of different ways. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are having trouble adjusting to what is the new norm. And, and for me, PTSD, you may not know, but I was incarcerated at a very young age, at the age of 16. Got locked up. I was gangbanging out there in California, and that's where I was raised, because I was a refugee. And me and my family refugeed out to the States when I was like a year old. So all I knew was California. I got locked up, arrested, sentenced to 16 years, 85%, 2 strikes. Ended up doing 14 years, about 15 years. Upon parole, immigration picked me up. I did another year in immigration. And then after that year, I got deported back to Cambodia. Got sent out here in 2011 with nothing, no clothes, no money on my, no money, just the clothes on my back, and say, here you go, survive, So that's kind of a little bit about my backstory on why I feel so blessed today, and really try not to take anything for granted. And I know when the world went on lockdown, for me, it was easy because it was like, I know what lockdown is. It's nothing, you know, because I did
Yeah.
about a year and a half in solitary, you know. So so that was like 18 months in the hole. That was like the worst, the worst. That was the bottom of the bottoms, right?
Yeah.
It can't get no bottom than that, right? That's like, boom, rock bottom. And so for me, when the world went upside down and flipped inside out, I reverted back to that. Like, boom, nothing, man. And then for me, it was like, man, this is lovely. You know, I'm in my own home. I can eat when I want, sleep when I want. You know, I don't what not going outside, no problem, right? I'm like, man, I got a TV. I got, all these things like start counting your blessings. You know what I'm saying? So there's a saying that I try to live by, and it's like if you think of what you don't have, then you'll never have enough. But if you think of what you do have, then you'll always have more. You feel that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So like for me, it was like, man, let me think of what I have, and let me refocus on that. Say, okay, I got a lot in my life right now where I can't complain about nothing. There's so many people going through so much worse than me. And I'm like, okay, let me shift that perspective. Let me pivot that foot and see a new, different view, right? Because that's what it's all about, regardless of whatever situation you're in. And I find that within a lot of times, like if you just shift a bit and see something else, focus on something else, you'll find out that life isn't all that bad, or life isn't what you actually see, because there's always different views, different perceptions, different perspectives. And depending on the perspective, you may be able to find a whole new, way to go about it. Like, oh, yeah, okay, I see that. So, yeah, man, thanks for asking. I didn't mean to go off tangent on like that and just.
No, that was good. I like that. That gave a lot of context. I don't have to ask any follow-up questions because you kind of covered a lot of ground. The only thing I could ask about is so I see you have an Oakland Raiders hat on.
Yeah.
Just so happens right before we were talking about San Francisco and Oakland because I watched the film yesterday that was called The Last Black Man in San Francisco. So were you in Oakland, California?
No. I started out in Santa Ana, and then moved around a lot, Long Beach, and then out to Riverside where I caught my case. And Raiders has been a favorite team of mine, and it's always, Raiders and Lakers. So it was those two teams that like I gravitated to when I was young. And Raiders, it's just iconic, man. Greatest team in the world.
So you're in your 30s.
I'm 40. I'm 41 right now.
41 right now. Wow.
Yeah.
And how long you been back in Cambodia?
About 10 years now, man. I landed here in 2011. Yeah. About 10 years now. It's been a decade. It's been crazy. Like time flew. Like, whoa.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I did a small little bit. You know what I'm saying? So you mentioned about the dynamic of, I thought about it just recently. I was like, yeah, man, I was in jail and my cell was much smaller than my little apartment. And I couldn't watch television when I wanted to. I couldn't eat when I wanted to or what I wanted to. It's kind of, I couldn't interact with different kinds of people. Everybody I could interact with is in jail with me, So like, that's not the same as right now. I could be on the phone. I could learn something about somebody else's reality, to hear about somebody else's story. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I would say that I feel blessed. I feel blessed for you. You know what I'm saying? That you made it through that situation. You back in your home country, and you're able to flourish in your art and expand yourself. I hope that all the opportunities work out, and then even more opportunities, on top of those, continue to work out for you for your art. You got the nice project where you're doing something for the children, you're doing something for the community. You know what I'm saying? Your energy seems good, so it seems like you're able to have a way You know what I'm saying? A way to keep going, a way to keep developing. And what we were talking about before was sometimes certain people they don't see a way anymore. They don't see a way.
Yeah.
You know, circumstances feel like they are smashing them into or compressing them into nothing. They feel like they're being broken down into nothing, and they never been there before. They never really been to a situation where they were compressed to nothing. And so from there, they don't know what to do. And they can't imagine another way.
I understand it, man. It's again, you know, for me it's you know, lessons learned and trial and error, and I totally hear you. Like by us going through things that normally people don't usually go through, prepares us in so many different ways, you know. And the people that didn't, you know, is now trying to actually, it's shifting, you know, everything's shifting right now. And I think the world is shifting in so many different ways, in so many different areas. It's, man, but yeah, man, I feel super blessed too as well. And I can't complain too much. Now is just trying to figure out, okay, what do we do? You know, where do we go from here? How do we go about it? You know, what are the ways? You know what I mean? And just trying to discover that alongside each other, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because like that's what it's all about. Like now it's like about, okay, how do we connect? How do we bridge gaps? How do we, you know, and with technology now, man, you know, because I come from an age where there was no technology, right? You know, it was all beginning, right? All brand new. So, you know, to have this type of technology at the hands of our fingertips, at the world, you know, it's literally now we're holding the world in our palms. Everyone is, you know, the world is at your palms, at the end of your fingerprint, you know, it's just there. You can access it at any point given in time. You're like, oh, let me go check out what's going on in Libya and Lebanon and Syria and, you know what I mean, and Haiti. Let me go check out what's going on over here. You know, I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Connection.
But I'm a dinosaur, so it's mind blowing to me.
It's mind blowing. Yeah, it is mind
You know,
blowing.
to the kids, to the ones that grew up in this generation, it's like, well, you know, what do you expect? It's like, you know.
I'm still into the physical manifestation. As far as like I was living in New York for 5 years. I'm originally from Baltimore. Baltimore is kind of a dangerous city. I got my hands dirty a little bit in Baltimore. I learned a lot though. And then I moved to New York because I didn't want to let that be the end for me. I didn't want to keep going in that same circle. So I went to New York. I expanded outside of that a little bit. When I was in New York, I was able to manifest different exchanges. I kind of put the phone down, actually.
That's dope. Yeah.
Life had it so that I stopped paying the bill. I was with AT&T for like 3-4 years, and something said, "Don't even pay that bill no more." I stopped paying the bill.
Yeah.
So then I started to feel this other feeling. I would only have Wi-Fi when I go to the cafe or go to McDonald's. Then they start putting Wi-Fi throughout the whole city. So I got Wi-Fi. I got Wi-Fi everywhere, throughout the whole Manhattan, throughout the whole Brooklyn. Everywhere I go, my phone automatically connected. All right, so I don't have to pay that money no more. But I would just walk through the city. I would walk from Brooklyn to uptown Manhattan and walk back. Don't even take the train. I actually more or less I consider that period of me like being a monk in the city. I started to interact with the monks in the city and see how they was living and see how they was experiencing. I learned a lot from that time. Now I'm cybered up. I'm out here in Vietnam, and I don't think I really put it down that long. I not as long as I did when I was in New York. That is, like, the phone is. I use it a lot. Actually, I got a portable speaker. I go around. I play music pretty much everywhere I go. You know, we got the world at the end of our fingertips. And sometimes when I feel like if I can't find it outside, I stay on this thing more often, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, not to say that, that is good or bad. It's just how you use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's with everything, that's just not with the phone. That's with everything in life. It's like, man, because, there's good stuff that you could be used for bad, So it's like, it's just all depending on how we actually use it. And for me, like, I have no idea about technology. I'm like the first to say it. Like, man, I have no idea. I know Facebook. I know, I mean, I'm still learning it out. I'm still learning how to actually somehow, man, hopefully make some sort of income from all this, right? Like, I'm still learning that, navigating that. Okay, how do I make this for the good of me, right? And how do I use it in a manner where it generates some sort of income, So that's a new thing to me too, man. Like, again, I've been out here 10 years. You think like I know, but I'm so much of a dinosaur. It's just like me speaking Khmer. I learned how to speak Khmer out here, but I understand for the most part now, but it's not like my first thing I like think about when I talk or when I speak. Right? That's not my first language that I go to. So that's just like with technology. It's like, so everything for me is still a lot of it's still analog and writing wise and stuff like that. Even writing, sometimes I find myself writing in a pen and pad, but and if I get lazy or something like that, and then I go into my notes and just say, okay, so it's so quicker and easier. But man,
have you been to any like historical site? Well, I just want to know if you've been to Angkor Wat.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been Angkor Wat, man. I traveled throughout Cambodia. The only place I really haven't been to is like Mondulkiri up north a bit. But eventually I'll head out there, man. Cambodia there's still a lot of places that I still haven't gone to, but it's been an incredible journey out here as far as like just getting to know back my culture, my roots and family and stuff like that. And having a family of my own out here. So it's been an all go around blessing all around. I can't really complain. Like I said, man, it's been a beautiful thing.
Have you been do you use the Instagram and Twitter, thing like that?
I had an Instagram and it kind of got me in trouble. So I deleted it.
Word. I was just trying to see if there was a way I can get on social media and somehow stay connected with you.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm on Facebook, whatnot. I do have. I mean, my Instagram. I got an Instagram account that's basically revolves around my dog.
Word. That's a good way to do it, man.
I got Rocky and Bullwinkle. Rocky's a French pug. I mean, a French bully, and Bullwinkle, he's a pug, a mixed pug. So yeah, and Rocky's a girl. Bullwinkle's my guy. Dog. They're puppies right now. So yeah, I haven't really uploaded too much of anything on there as of late. I've just been like, man, thinking of like just how do I stay creative right now? Because I've been in a creative funk and quite a while now, not being able to I haven't been writing, and my memorization has gotten down a bit because I usually memorize all my stuff, and right now it's been difficult to memorize, and maybe that's just me getting older. But yeah, I haven't had a piece where I wanted to memorize it yet,
Yeah.
And the one that I do want to memorize, I have it difficult to memorize it because I have it in Khmer. Like I've added Khmer words into it. So Richard, you've heard that piece when I did it at Cloud.
Yeah.
We forgot
Cloud.
all about Richard, man. Richard's all in
Richard,
the background.
I
Richard
do that,
always
This is
always does that whenever a third person gets added to the podcast.
He's
he vanishes.
like crickets over there.
He always do that. Every time a third person comes, he just vanishes into the background.
Yeah.
I remember Cloud. I played the opening of Cloud.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played that opening. Right.
That's what's
Cloud.
up. That's what's up. Yeah, it would have been cool to have met up with you, man. Well, hopefully if you ever come around to, Phnom Penh again, since you're out there in Vietnam.
It's possible. It's possible. You ever imagine yourself going to another country and working and creating?
Oh man, I love Cambodia so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's so familiar to me now, where it's like I wouldn't know how to live anywhere else, I feel, man. But I wouldn't mind like going out and doing work. Yeah, for sure. Like, I wanted to visit Vietnam too. Like, but I've always been a guy. I've always looked at things like this. Like, whatever I'm supposed to be doing, life will somehow eventually get me there.
Yeah.
As long as I'm doing something.
Yeah, like you mentioned about the Lakers earlier, and the way how I think of it when it comes to that, like I love Vietnam. And when you think about the Lakers, whenever the Lakers, say if the Lakers are playing like the Pelicans, some team that wasn't so good back in the day, like the Knicks or something.
Yeah.
Everybody want to see the Knicks when they playing the Lakers. If the Lakers only play at home, you're going to have the people who always come out, like, Jack Nicholson. People love to see the Lakers in LA. But when Kobe goes and Kobe would go and play, or now LeBron will go and play in these other places, other people get a chance to experience the Lakers. And every time they play with them jerseys on, they still representing LA. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I could represent Vietnam. I could go to New York and represent Vietnam. I could go to France and represent Vietnam. I can go to Sweden and represent Vietnam. I still love Vietnam. I still see Vietnam as my home. But I think that if I don't play no games on the road, we won't get the championship that we. I gotta play some games on the road, man.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. Like, I would love to get back out there with traveling and stuff like that too. But with the world nowadays, right now, man,
that's right now.
I don't see traveling like in my itinerary anytime soon. I don't want to go through all the headache of what I need as far as paperwork and all these credentials, and I don't know, man. So it's like for me, it's like, man, I want to build something out here, and I would love to build some sort of like a culture of what I'm, everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm about, and hopefully everything that I am a part of somehow will accumulate into something that I never expected.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's for me, that's the beauty of life so far. Like the unexpected somehow revealing itself or manifesting just by me doing what I love and doing things, just doing something, you know what I mean? And not do anything, you know what I mean? It's like, because that's easy to do, not do anything. Like, man, I don't want to do anything. That's it.
Not doing anything is hard for me, man. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, I can do it.
It's easy for me, man.
Do it, but it's not easy for me to process that I just did that. I just did nothing. Oh, I just did nothing all morning. I just did nothing all day. I'm gonna do something. I gotta learn. I gotta think. I gotta do something. I gotta put that energy into some type of activity.
Yeah, so. Oh man,
Richard, what you got, man?
I was just cracking up, y'all. Oh,
yeah, you vanish into the abyss every time a third person comes. I feel like you vanish. So what you got, yo? You being as though you sat quiet, you should have something like a question or like a dissertation or something like that.
So I finished listening to The Alchemist this morning. I went out for a walk in the middle of the night the the other night, and on the way back, old lady, she called me across the street, and she handed me the Alchemist. And I was like, oh word, I don't have any money on me, but when I went home, I turned on the audiobook. And you just mentioned that. Oh, so you were like, I life just it brings these unexpected things I don't know about, but it happens because I love what I'm doing in my life, and so these things get manifested. And so it reminded me of when the boy was asking the moon and the wind and the sun, and he's like, "Do you know what love is?" And so when you said that, I was like, "Oh, word!" It's that thing that manifests other things. So it's kind of like a circle that came back around. So I would say that's my from what I can envision here. I remember meeting both of you. I remember how I met both of you, and I remember that I didn't Stanford. You didn't speak because it wasn't a poetry event, but also you did. You performed, and I guess you just the I read Stanford. You said it in your adornments. The heart's
Your memory, man.
yeah.
We talking about when you speak from the heart, the pure heart responds. That's you talking about?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you got. Yeah, I would say that's the kind of stuff I do remember when I'm meant to remember. Yeah, man. Kosar, we don't want to keep you too long because we sometimes we get on the podcast tip and we'll be on here for like a long time, like, man, and time will like fly by. So I always try to, whenever I bring a third person in, I always try to be conscious of you got your reality that you maintain and around you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. But you can let us know, like, if you got anything else you wanna add or anything you want to mention or announce. Quite a few people listen to the podcast and they download it. Like, we don't know who these people are a lot of times because we don't have any like audience capture feature yet.
Yeah.
People be listening. It be somebody out there listens to this stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I mean, it starts somewhere. I mean, I always feel like right now, like podcasts are like the stones being thrown, and the listeners are the ripples. You know what I mean? You do it, and someone will listen, and maybe it just takes one sometimes. You know what I mean? And if it reaches someone, like if someone gets something out of it, that they didn't get out before listening, man, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean?
I got a question. You got WhatsApp?
Yeah, I do have WhatsApp.
I want you to send your phone number. You can send it through Richard to me. I
Okay,
kind of got this
Richard
thing called Clubhouse Audio.
Yeah.
It's called Clubhouse Audio. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's like a network for all these different artistic people. And there's a lot of different like rooms you can go on every now and then. You can like listen into a room for like a couple minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And the inspirations that you get from these different people from all around the world, that stuff be meaningful, man. I just thought about that. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay. Yeah. That's all good, man. Just send the link. Richard will give you my number and let's stay connected. And I'm all about bridging gaps and stuff like that, building bridges and see what we can do, man. The world is changing and it's changing quick. So I feel like one of the best things we can do to fortify and strengthen ourselves is to connect with one another.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Hopefully, a body can become a sea of bodies.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I feel that.
So that's what it's all about. And yeah, sure enough. No, I mean, I don't think I have anything else to say other than thank you for having me. And hopefully we can do this again. I'm trying to actually try to get a podcast out here too going. you know, just to get one going. So hopefully, you know, we can all do this again as well, you know, on another platform.
Yeah, on another platform. Yeah, I can see it happening, man. That's why on Clubhouse, I want to get you on there so we can start a room. You could pop in, you could talk, different people can come in, you can invite people up, they can speak and whatever. Man, it's a good platform, yo. I think
Okay,
you'll do
that's
real
dope.
good on there, man.
That's dope. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm excited, man. Like again, today was an amazing day for me. Happy birthday, Leroy.
Happy birthday, Leroy.
You know, he out of Oakland. Just got out 3 months ago. Man, I'm couldn't be happier, man. That's such a blessing to hear my brother out, man. Um, no other no other news could have made me so much happier, man. And so yeah, man. Other than that, man, thank you guys, man, and we'll talk soon, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Awesome, man. Thanks for coming
All right,
on,
Kasu.
yo.
Nice
Thank
to
you,
meet you,
brother.
bro. Enjoy the
Nice
rest
to
of your
meet
day.
Yo,
y'all.
enjoy the rest of
Yeah,
your day.
you
Peace.
too. Peace.
Peace.
And meet. I actually didn't end it yet. Shit. All right.
Yeah, so yeah, man, you do that Mr. Vanishing act in the background. Whenever that happens, everybody always notices it's around the same time. It's about 10, 15 minutes to go through, and they'll be like, yo, Richard vanished. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna invite him. Give me his phone number to Facebook. I'm gonna invite him to Clubhouse. Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you right now. I was trying to send it while you were talking, but my phone's acting up. Now, so for me, I noticed that for me it was like I figured what I wouldn't have fit. I wouldn't have if I didn't put anything into the flow of the conversation, I didn't see a part for me to interject in really. So I was kind of cool with just sitting there and kind of observing that. If I had an opportunity, I kind of had a story. I kind of had a story to share that related to kind of what we talked about. But if the moment came up, then it would have came up, but it didn't. So I was like, nah. I haven't. I guess maybe I'm supposed to be more assertive, a little more assertive about that.
I mean, that ain't a bad idea, man. It's like when you said "take it away, Stanford." It's like, for real, nigga. All right, I can do that. I can do that, but it's like, come on, man. You got the the connection. You know them already, but you know I know how to connect with people regardless of whether we spoke a lot before or not. Like I kind of just got a knack with doing that.
Yeah, so I realized that's kind of why I asked you, and then after that, I sat and I was observing, kind of like, really, because I realized before I hadn't really done it well. I didn't do it intentionally. This one was way more intentional, with the intent of seeing, kind of just observing kind of your energy and kind of reflecting upon myself and how I interacted with it. So. I'm picking up. I picked up. I learned something from this podcast episode.
Or
Definitely.
what did you learn?
There's no particular construct to or idea. The idea about a particular construct of how a conversation should flow is kind of not. That doesn't really exist specifically. There is like. No, it was just like it was for me. Is some parts of times maybe I would normally feel uncomfortable if I went for long periods without saying something. I felt like maybe I was supposed to say something, but this time I was being way more comfortable with just like realizing that okay, being comfortable with not saying anything, and then I think that for me the next step is then all right learning how how to then force that interject that when to push that forward.
Don't interject.
Yeah, I did not want to use that word. I did not want to use that. I guess
You could say interact.
or add to the conversation to higher to raise it, because I'm always at the well. I'm always thinking of raising. Not, I guess I can't say I'm always thinking of raising the vibration. I
Sometimes it's not what you're supposed to do. Just interact. Just interact. Like when I was talking to him, I wasn't talking to quote unquote raise the vibration or anything. That's not my intentions. My intentions is to, cause like okay, so I can understand why you invited him. Automatically I can understand based off of how he interacts. I could tell, all right, I see why you invited him. He got a story. You know what I'm saying? So what it's going to be more about, it's not going to be about the art. It's not going to particularly, like, he's not going to talk about the art the whole time. He's not going to talk about music the whole time, particularly. What's he probably going to talk about? He's probably, once he started to tell his story, that's why I asked him, like, so what are you doing now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on with him? He knew exactly what I meant. He didn't just start saying, I'm just sitting here, talking to y'all. No, he automatically knew how to interact with the situation, because he was like, all right, well, I know that, he got it automatically. But the way how you could have interacted with it, like he wasn't the type of person you ask a million questions to, because he gave a lot of information that you could sit back and process or whatever and hear what he said. And then you could ask another question, or you could give a detail about yourself or something like that. That's how you really have a conversation. It's not necessarily got to be like an interview. Like, even at the beginning when you were like, yeah, tell the audience about yourself. It's like, ain't no audience, man. It's us.
Right.
Nobody, ain't no audience. You got to almost erase that. The plug part is for the audience, something like that. Sometimes you speak to an audience. Like when you listen to Dave Chappelle part, they're not talking to the audience. They're talking to each other. They just realize that, talking to each other, our conversations we have is something that people probably would have liked to listen to. Right. If we was in a room full of people having the same conversation, people would eventually start to flock to us just to listen and potentially join in. That's what Clubhouse is about. That's what Dave Chappelle podcast is about, and that's what I've been learning about. That's what I've been learning about how to have this type of that type of thing. Like, I don't know what you do on Discord. I don't know if on Discord. That's why I don't like Discord.
I'm not even on
Discord. I don't feel like Discord creates that environment, and that's why I invited you to join Clubhouse. That's why I invited him to join Clubhouse. I was on Clubhouse this morning in 2 rooms. Whenever I pop up on Clubhouse, people shout me out immediately. As soon as I land in a room that I ever been in before, as soon as I land in there, they're like, "Oh, Stanford Reed is building. Stanford Reed, blah, blah, blah." Every single time, especially if it's people I ever was in the room with me before on the stage, they always shout me out because I be having a good interaction. That's why I got that performance coming up. Who knows what could happen because of that? I could just be in there not saying nothing. I could have just been a person who just pops up in the room and I don't say anything. And nobody will ever shout me out.
Word. Yeah. It's not, I guess. I know for me that. No, I don't know it. I would say that. Sometimes I feel like sometimes you say. In certain situations, I feel like I don't have. You're right. I don't have to raise the vibration. So I'm learning more about that, and every day I'm getting better at being able to kind of just be present in the moment and share in the experience without feeling uncomfortable in a way that I'm not doing enough of one thing or too much of one thing?
I heard you, but by far I wasn't hearing. Sometimes that happens, though. I think that's why I need people who gotta talk to me loud and stuff. Like they got like say like loud, impactful sentences, like loud. Like I just said loud. I didn't say loud, impactful sentences. You know, like I said loud, impactful sentences. Not like even when I be talking to Clubhouse, yo, I be talking like that. Oh, when I read in Clubhouse, they love it when I read. They love it when I read. When I be reading I be in the Diamond Sutra group. They love it when I read because the way I read is like they look. I think I probably like one of their favorite persons that ever read in the group. They was like, yo, that was everybody responded. Everybody was like, yo, that was fucking dope, nigga. That was the way you read that shit. Made me feel it. Made me understand it. Made me like it. Can you read it again, please? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the loud and impactful sentences, just like when I at the beginning of the video for the Y Combinator, how I was like, yo, say that shit with like some emphasis in it, so that way the person who's listening to you could like the words cut through, so it doesn't start to like melt together and just become like I be wanting it to strike me, like I be wanting the words to be like, yo, I heard you. It's like if you were to if a horse racer, like a jockey, were to like try to like, you know, when they be whipping the horse or whatever, they were to do it with a feather. The horse would be like, what the fuck is that? It probably stop. Like, what the fuck is that behind me? Like, what the fuck is that? But because it's a whip thing and it got some solidity behind it, and the horse is like, I know what's going on. I'm fully aware because this is an impact. And it's pressing me in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So you need that. I feel like the strong words become the anchor for the attention of the other person. Because I hate not paying attention to somebody when they speak. Whenever it happens, I'll be like, I want to blame myself. But sometimes I'll be like, sometimes I can blame myself. And sometimes I'll be like, all right, I blame myself that I wasn't paying attention. Okay, I wasn't paying full attention. But also, come on, man, say that shit the way so you make me hear it.
Word.
Facts. Not every word, just a few words at a time. Like every now and then, just be like something that's gonna be like, yo, this nigga said that got me.
Every day, I am becoming the best version of myself.
Word.
All right, I'm gonna go watch that movie, yo. Rap with you later.
All right, man. Peace.
Collectively, we are here.